This video is brought to you by the Disc Golf Nerd Patreon support team. Go to patreon.com/discgolfnerd. Hello, welcome back to the channel and welcome to an unboxing video for a big stack of plastic from Storm Discs. Storm Discs is a company out of Texas. They sent me all 6 of their molds to test and review, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All 6 of their molds to test and check out. I may review individual molds. I may do like kind of a group review where I test it all and give you guys my thoughts on each individual mold and a few shots of each or whatever. If any of these discs interest you in particular as we go along here, please feel free to let me know that in the comments, and I'll make sure to give you guys content about the ones that you're most interested in. But I will be testing them. I'm just not exactly sure if I'll review all of them, one or two based on the ones I like the best, or mass review. Not exactly sure, so stay tuned for that. All that being said, let's get into looking at some of this plastic like we like to do. So we got this pair of mid-ranges. Put those aside for a second here. We have the Radar putter in 3 different plastics, which is sweet. I like that I have different plastics to check out. That's always fun. We have the Maelstrom, which is a distance driver, 11-speed distance driver. Has to be a part of every lineup as far as I'm concerned, which is the Overstable approach disc, and this one is the Crater, flat top Overstable approach disc. Then we have an Overstable mid-range called the Wallcloud. This one's real interesting. You guys are going to definitely want to see that. Closer look at that one in just a minute here. Very, very unique design. And we'll start it off with the Abyss, which is an 8-speed control driver. I have 2 different plastics. So the Category 3 is their more premium plastic, and then you have the Category 3X, which is a little bit firmer blend that cools differently as it gets taken out of the mold. And these cool down, they change the shape quite a bit. So these actually, in the Category 3, come out quite domey. And the Category 3 has a little bit more flexibility to it over the 3X. Kind of similar to like a Lucid or Opto X thing. Opto to Opto X. A little bit more stable, a little bit firmer plastic. And because of that, this one cools, tends to have more of a dome to it. Big pop-top dome on the Abyss, 8, 4, 0, and 3. I've not thrown this one yet. I love the stamp. Very, very cool. And here is a look at the rim on this guy. Very rounded outside edge there, not sharp at all. These are molded by Gateway, so you'll see some of the Gateway markings on there. You'll see some of the Gateway trademarks, like some weird flashing now and again in strange places that I'm not necessarily expecting. This one's 174. And yeah, I really like the feel of this plastic though. It definitely has like an Opto kind of vibe to it. Big pop top on that guy. And then we have the 3X, which you can see is way flatter. No pop whatsoever. This one you can see a little bit of that inner rim flashing. 174 on this guy. Board flat, just about. Also got that nice, rounded outside edge, of course. It's going to be the same there. So I'm interested to see how those change in terms of flight. I'm fairly certain the domier one's going to be a little bit less stable, have some more float to it as it catches air underneath that flight plate. Okay, moving on to the Wallcloud. These are interesting, to say the least. 5503 are the flight numbers on these. I think it could be a 6. It's a little bit quicker than 5 from my perspective, but we'll get to that in just a second. Another cool stamp. This one's in the hemp blend. Category 3, I believe. It has a little bit of flexibility to it. Those little flex kind of indicate the hemp in the plastic. 180. And this is a beaded mid-range. I've thrown this one a little bit. Beaded mid-range, but as you can hopefully see, it's got a double bead. So there's a bead, then there's like a little ridge in between them, and then there's another one. And you can also see that lead edge is quite thin, almost like driver thickness on this upper part here. Hopefully you can see what I mean. This part's really thin and kind of sharp. Cuts through the air pretty quick. Overstable. Flex is nice. Fly is pretty good. Definitely seems a little quicker than 5 from my perspective. This one is in a much firmer plastic, about as firm as you're going to get. It's kind of like KC Pro plastic if it had 0 flexibility whatsoever. That's kind of how it feels. Very similar to the plastic we tested and reviewed the Gateway Prophecy in, so you can look for that if you want a little bit more details. And this one being a little bit less shiny, hopefully you can see that design a little bit better. Super wild. This thing is unlike any other disc I can think of. It's like a sharper rock with a double bead. Once you get it in your grip, you don't feel that ridge. I don't feel that ridge at all. It just feels like a beaded mid-range with a little bit of a pointed front edge. Interested to continue testing those, but they fly pretty good. I do just think they're a little bit faster than a 5 based on how sharp that front nose is there. The Crater, this one's in the category 1, more baseline, and it's got more of a kind of chalky feel to it. Crater 3203. Once again, I like the stamp artwork on pretty much all of these. This one looks nice. Got touch of a indented thumb track there. Other than that, it's board flat. And it's got kind of a chunky lead edge there that reminds me of the Stego minus the bead. Hopefully it is not quite as beefy as the Stego, because I found that disc to be borderline useless in terms of stability. I don't think this thing's going to be quite that silly in terms of the stability, but it should be plenty overstable, and it feels like it, and it feels nice in the forehand grip. So I'm interested to see how this one will work. Maybe it'll be like a beefier, more aggressive fade complement to my harps that I've been throwing. We shall see. Nice feel though. I like the chalky feel. I like the nice chunky rim there. And once again, the thumb track is nice for that. Tuck your thumb for your forehand grip there. So I've not thrown that one yet either. Moving on, we have the Maelstrom 11.5, -1 and 3, which is quite similar to like a Surge or a Wraith. More rad nautical themed artwork here with the kind of pirate ships and the storm happening there, squall out in the water. You can see there's almost like some kind of bursty rotational look to this plastic. And this is category 1 or category 3 again. And it feels nice, man. I really do like the feel of this plastic. It feels good. It's not like tremendously grippy, but I bet you it will add some grip over time. This one's super flat, relatively shallow, low profile disc with that 11-speed rim. Kind of seems like, yeah, like a shallow Wraith Surge type feel with that 11-speed. Excited to see how that one will fly for me. Then we're moving on to the Radar putter, and I have 3 different ones of these to show you. So we have the hemp blend again. There's your Radar stamp. See the speckles. This one is a beaded putter. The flight numbers are 2, 4, 0, and then 0.5. So it should be a pretty straight flyer. Some good float to it, which I definitely can see happening based on the design. It's got a little dome to this one, a little rounded top. It's got that long shoulder coming down off of the top of the flight plate, rounding around that front edge. The front edge is nice and rounded, and the bead feels good. You can see the Gateway markings on the bottom there with that kind of weird dimple flashing in the middle. That's very reminiscent of most Gateway produced stuff. This one is in the glow plastic. Seems to glow quite nice, and it's got kind of a satiny, very grippy, nice feel. Once again, I dig the stamp here. It's simple, not a lot going on with it. You got the flight numbers, you got the name, not a lot of extraneous information or anything, which is always nice. Glow plastic. Another look at the rim. This one's flatter across the top than the hemp for sure. I think it'll be a little bit more stable as fresh because of that. Moving on, this one is just the regular category 1 first run, and this one also feels very nice. Very similar to the glow, just not glow in the dark material. This is rad. You can see that flashing again. The nice thing about these, even though they have that like flashing in the middle, a couple of them have a little bit of flashing in other places, but the rest of them are pretty clean. I do kind of feel like Gateway has stepped up their manufacturing a little bit of late, and the plastics are feeling nice, and you know, based on what I've thrown, the few shots I've thrown with these discs, they feel good, they fly good, and a lot of the other kind of newer Gateway stuff that we've messed around with, I've enjoyed as well, for sure. Good flying stuff. The Prophecy is a really great disc. I think you guys, it's one of the ones that sticks out in my head as far as like a underrated disc. So the Storm, the Eye is the name of this one by Storm. 6.5, -1 and 1 are the flight numbers on this. These are both in the category 3X. And real quick, make sure I'm not showing you my ink. There you can see the base yellow before the dye job here. I'll put my glue dye tutorial at the end of this video in case you guys are interested in learning how to do these type of really rad glue dyes. I wanted to do this one before I posted this video just to see how the plastic took the dye, and it did awesome. Love the way this one came out. This is the one I've thrown the most so far. This is a backup one, just a you know, identical pair basically. 3X and 6.5 -1 1, as we said. I would say, based on my testing of this yellow one over here, the 6 is definitely on, the 5 should be fine, but I would say probably 0, 2 for these category 3X. They're flat across the top, quite stable actually. I can throw this thing hard and it does not flip and turn on me at all, but it does fly pretty straight. And out on my relatively lackluster round the other day, this disc got me the only birdie of the day on hole 18. Super flat, kind of squared lead edge, relatively shallow, not terribly dissimilar to my beloved Gobies. Let me see if I can find you Goby to show side by side real fast, since we can do that. It's my show. I can do that. So more squared, but similar kind of flat top, a little bit quicker mid-range feel. And I like a 6-speed. I've never been a big fan of 7-speed drivers. I'd rather throw a mid-range or get into like a 9-speed, like a Fury or an Escape. These feel nice. They definitely have a nice larger diameter feel, but they have a little bit quicker flight through the air. And so far so good on the ones that I've tested. So stay tuned to the channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can keep an eye out for other videos about these going forward. Please let me know in the comments down below, which of these are you most interested in? Have you tried these before? What did you think of them? Do you bag or throw any of these? Always leave those comments down in the comment section so we can have a discussion down there. I'm always active in reading the comments, answering questions, all that kind of stuff. So hopefully you guys know that by now. Thank you once again to Storm Discs for hooking me up with this great stack of plastic. I'll definitely be doing some more dyes on these as well, so check out my Instagrams, Disc Golf Nerd 1 and Disc Golf Nerd Dyes, for more info about that sort of stuff as we go. And keep an eye out for other videos about these in the future. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you once again to everyone for their continued support. Thank you once again to the Disc Golf Nerd Patreon support team. You guys are amazing, and I really appreciate your financial contributions to the channel and to my life, really. Beyond just making the videos, especially over the last couple years with how crazy everything has been, having that little bit of bonus cash has been hugely helpful, has gone beyond things for the channel, even into helping me and my wife get by, honestly. So if you have some money laying around that you wouldn't miss, $2 a month, it goes a long way. And if enough of you guys did that, I could pretty much drop everything and just make these videos full time and constantly be producing stuff for you guys to watch and hopefully enjoy. Thank you so much. I appreciate all you guys very much, and I'm really grateful to have this channel continue to cruise along. We are almost to 13,000 subscribers, so keep an eye out for a big giveaway coming up for that real soon. I'm thinking about reaching out to Upper Park, see if they can hook us up with maybe a bag to give away, if possible. Could happen. Stay tuned to find out. Thanks for watching. Cheers.